authors who planned and executed this September 11 attack on America. There are those who will not be convinced. They will say, no, CNN does not lie. The American government does not tell any lies. No. They said that it is Arabs and Muslims who attacked America on September the 11th, and we are convinced that they are speaking the truth. But guess what? One day, we stand in another court. On that day, the Quran says, يَوْمَئِذٍ تُحَدِّثُ أَخْبَارَهَا. The earth will reveal all the secrets that the media don't tell us today. And on that day, I will not be surprised when I am shown who are the authors of the September 11 attack on America. I would not be surprised on that day. But on that day, those who insist that Washington is speaking the truth, oh, what an awful event will be for them. Say, you know that? I mean, these people are going to give me a 6 for a 9. I was so utterly and totally and completely deceived, and I swallowed their lies. And as a consequence, I blamed innocent people. And today I have to answer for it. In the summer of 1914, there were 6 major powers in Europe: Britain, France, Russia, Germany, Austria-Hungary. That's 5. That's 5. Number 6? Number 6? Who remembers number 6? Number 6 was the Ottoman Islamic Empire. I mean, we forget about it. 6 major powers in Europe. And the Holy Land was under the control of the Ottoman Islamic Empire. The Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated in Sarajevo. And the fingerprints or the footprints, which were of course manufactured, led to Russia. It was intended to lead to Russia. Like September 11 footprints or fingerprints was intended to lead to Arabs and Muslims. And so Austria-Hungary declared war on Russia as George Bush attacked Afghanistan. And then Britain and France, who had a defense treaty with Russia, now came to the assistance of Russia and joined the war. And then Germany entered the war on the side of Austria-Hungary. And then the Ottoman Islamic Empire was pushed, shoved into the war on the side of Germany. And so the stage was set, as the stage is now set today after September the 11th. And the big war took place. But strangely, Britain was losing that war because Germany unveiled a new weapon of war that had never been used before, the submarine. As Israel is going to unveil a new weapon of war tomorrow that has never been used before. And when Britain was on her knees, facing defeat, Britain, which was the ruling state in the world, is now facing defeat. Then the German Jews went to the British government and said, let's make a deal. If you will promise to give us the Holy Land, we'll bring the United States into the war on your side. Britain said, deal. You will see all of this on the last day. And so the United States entered into the war. And Britain won the war. In the process, the Ottoman Islamic Empire was defeated, was dismembered, and the Holy Land was liberated for the Jews. And so an act of terrorism led to this strategic target being achieved, the liberation of the Holy Land. But now, the United States takes over from Britain as the new ruling state in the world. In the same way that Britain had a mysterious relationship with the Holy Land and with the Jews, the United States now has that mysterious relationship with the Holy Land and with the Jews. The first country in the world to recognize the state of Israel is the United States of America. Is that by accident? No, not after today's lecture. You'll never think it's by accident. The United States presents, excuse me, presents the baby with everything that the baby needs to grow up to become not only a strong man but a superpower. Massive economic aid, massive military aid, massive transfer of cutting-edge military technology, some from the front door, a lot from the back door. And Israel grows and prospers. But in order to keep this Israel safe while it's growing, you had to create a new organization called the United Nations Organization. You had to create something called the Security Council, whose responsibility is for international peace and security. And you had to give veto power to the United States in the Security Council, so that every time mankind came together to censure that Jewish state, the United States is there to cast a veto to protect the baby. It happened time and again, that the United States is protecting Israel. If there was any doubt that the United States has now taken over as the ruling state in the world, 1956 put an end to that. In 1956, Britain, France, and Israel attacked Egypt, took over the Suez Canal. The American president was Dwight Eisenhower, General Dwight Eisenhower. He ordered Britain and France and Israel to withdraw. And they had to withdraw. And the British government fell. So Anthony Eden had to resign. Very clearly, Britain is no longer the ruling state in the world. The United States has taken over. If you felt that the Soviet Union was on par with the United States, that there are two superpowers, that the United States is not the ruling state in the world, then the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, I think, put an end to that. Remember? Sparrow sang the Calypso. I said, turn them ships in the opposite direction. You were born at that time? Huh? Kennedy is the man for them. The Cuban Missile Crisis. And the Soviet Union had to back down when the United States imposed unilaterally a quarantine around the island of Cuba. And so the United States is the new ruling state in the world. And the United States has a mysterious relationship with the state of Israel. Can anyone explain that? About 2 weeks before September the 11th, there was an international conference on racism and racial discrimination in South Africa, in Durban. The whole world came together, combined, to pass a resolution censuring Israel in that World Conference in Durban. Israel walked out of that conference.